And is the Cameron County District Attorney's Office pursuing charges against former city manager, the former fire chief, and school board vice president, as well as their former deputy fire chief? It's a big question Local 23's Derek Garcia is trying to get answered after last night's explosive city commissioners meeting. Derek is in our studio with the latest. Derek, what are you learning?
Good evening, Brenda. There is a lot to go over, but first we received a new statement from the Cameron County District Attorney's Office that says, quote, in 2017, the District Attorney's Office opened an investigation into intercity ambulance. The investigation continues, and therefore the office has no further comments, end quote. That investigation into intercity stems from an audit report conducted by the Audit and Oversight Committee, whose sole mission was to investigate the ambulance complaints. It learned that former Fire Chief Carlos Elizondo, former Deputy Fire Chief Ernesto Estrada, and former City Manager Charlie Kabler knowingly allowed the ambulance service to operate without permits in the city of Brownsville. Now, the report states that Estrada had illegally diverted non-emergency calls to the private ambulance company operated by Elizondo, and Kabler was aware of it and stuck elderly patients with $800 service fees. Elizondo and Estrada were ultimately fired, and Kabler retired with full benefits and a $220,000 check from the city of Brownsville. Now, last night, city commissioners voted to end the audit committee, but not without a verbal fight and accusations of corruption.
If you're not going to vote on this item or not, she should be disqualified.
Okay.
I am going to ask the police department. I ask you as an individual and as an elected official to investigate what just happened. I feel like I'm being extorted. I feel like I'm being pushed to make certain decisions here politically, and I am letting you know on the record that I feel like I am being extorted to make my decisions here with the power that my constituents have vested in me.
And she just proved my point, because she should ask the city manager to do this, not the police department.
Wait a minute.
Commissioner Jessica Tetreault voted to kill the committee, citing legal red flags that were raised by the current and former city attorneys. But the fighting between Commissioners Tetreault and Ben Neese was over the use of power and squashing the progress. We spoke exclusively with Mayor Tony Martinez, who voted to keep the committee and is looking into what's going on between his commissioners.
That's why I said it's time to take a deep breath, bring it down a notch. We have a city to govern. We have a city that is very deserving of our utmost attention.
Now, despite the infighting, an independent third-party audit was submitted to the city secretary's office. We have a copy of that, and we now know tonight that the investigation surrounding the ambulance company is still ongoing, and likely investigators are looking into the names that were dropped in both of those audit reports. Brenda?
Derek, thank you. We'll continue to press for answers. Now, for a look back at our in-depth coverage, the new audit report and the full committee video, head on over to our website. That's kveo.com.